I'm not gonna. Let's say Boston comes back. They go.
He's the one drinking beer. I'm drinking water.
2 touchdowns a game?
Yes, in the game.
You're tripping.
How you greatest wide receiver of all time.
I don't know what we're doing in that front office, man.
Twiddling our fucking dick.
Ryan, I just need you to drink this.
Wide receiver trivia. That's what she said.
Her upset.
Are those crutches?
You can see Ryan's crutches.
We'll talk about it.
What is going on, folks? Welcome back. The intro music was not playing for some reason. Anyway, neither here nor there. Welcome back to After Further Review to episode 238. I am your co-host, Jalen Brown.
I am your other co-host, Malin Dennis.
I am your other co-host, Junebug Spade.
And I am your last co-host and your only co-host, sitting here in the PNW, G-Money.
Yes, he is. He's back to being the only West Coast.
Sounded very provocative.
West Coaster.
He did.
A little risque.
Gentlemen, thank you all for coming all together. Another week. Once again, people at home, Nestor is out this week. Do not expect him to be back for the next several weeks because he is traveling and will be abroad. And yeah, so it'll just be the four amigos here for a little while. Let's go ahead and open up the show with a nice cheers. Cheers, gents.
Uh-oh.
Cheers.
You're doing tequila?
I'm just shooting Corona tonight.
Tequila and water. I don't even have a beer.
About
Just
to.
playing it safe.
Yeah, I just took a shot and I got Jack on the rocks here.
Nice.
I'm not having a beer tonight either. I'm trying to cut down on my beer intake.
Blasphemy.
Drink less beer or liquor intake. That sounds like a smart.
Do you know I still got a couple of Budweisers left?
You
I'm
did not have to
surprised
share
at
that.
I mean,
I know one thing you don't have. You ain't got no goddamn fry on the floor because you'll eat that.
All right,
Well, I don't
folks.
even remember the rest of that night.
Let's get started off with the NBA playoffs. We're checking in every week with the status of where playoffs are at. So the Pacers are the first team to make it to the conference finals. They took care of the Cavs, dispatched them in 5 games, which was a big shock to me. I don't know if it was a big shock to you guys, but I was flabbergasted. Yeah, well, I guess we'll start there. Do you guys think that Cleveland were more like frauds, or do you think Indy is really just that good? June, let's start with you first.
Well, I said it earlier when we started talking about the playoffs. I said it for both KC, Cleveland, and OKC that I feel both of them were both the number 1 seeds. I didn't feel both of them were strong teams to be that number 1 seed, and I didn't feel either one, or at least one, wasn't going to get out the second round of the playoffs. And Cleveland just happened to be the first one out, and OKC is still playing. So I'm not surprised that this happened. The Cavaliers are very young, and they don't have a lot of experienced guys on the team. They got a lot of guys that's played in the NBA for a while, but as far as championship or playoff caliber experience, no, they don't have those guys on that team. So yeah, the first round was easy, but when they got to that second round, you saw them playing a team that just went to the Eastern Conference Finals the year before. So this team was poised to go back. So, hey, shout out to Indy for doing their thing, but Cleveland, nope. I thought they were suspect the whole time.
G Money.
Yeah, I think it's a little of both, right? I mean, you watched Cleveland in the first round just decimate Miami, and then they come in to play Indiana, and you tend to think that they should win that. It's probably not going to be a blowout like the Miami series was, but
Right.
they should probably win it in 5, maybe 6 games if Indy steals a game here or there. And it just didn't quite happen that way. I think when they got down, they didn't know how to get back up. When Indy sucker punched them, that was it. They were down and just kind of like, hey, I don't know what happened. It's like, yeah, it's. Someone said that the regular season you play to your strengths. In the playoffs, you play to the other team's weaknesses. And Indiana exposed Cleveland. So it was a surprise to me to a degree because I really wasn't high on Indiana at all. But hey, hats off to them. They did what they needed to do, and they're going to the Eastern Conference Finals, either against the Knicks or Boston, depending on how this series ends up.
Malin.
I mean, I know that when we first started talking about the playoffs, I referenced, Cleveland being possibly like Phoenix Suns of the mid 2000s. You win a lot of games, you score a lot of points, you get into playoffs, and it's different when you have to play a team 7 times, or in some cases 5 times, apparently. It kind of felt like they made no adjustments. Every single game, it felt like they were going to go in and try to play the game that they wanted to play. When Indiana took that away, they didn't have an answer for it. So I partly blame a lot of coaching for this because, like G Money said, like they didn't play to the other team's weaknesses. They kept trying to push the type of ball that they want to play rather than trying to adjust to what was happening. I'm not sure that there's another team in the playoffs that would have gotten Cleveland out in 5 games. I think even against Boston, it would have been a much tougher series, even if Tatum was healthy, like if they played Boston in the second round, because both teams are high pace, shoot a lot of shots.
Yeah.
And you're playing the type of rhythm that Cleveland wants to play. Indiana didn't let them do that. And so hats off to them. They're going to the Eastern Conference Finals for a second year in a row. I think we beat the hell out of them last year. I think they won 1 game, didn't they? Did they win 1 game? Maybe they won 1 game. We might have swept them.
At most, they won a game. I don't remember.
A gentleman's sweep. So hats off to them. But I mean, I think the East is in a little bit of trouble when you look at the West, though, with these other teams that we're about to talk about. Because even with it's going to be interesting. But Cleveland, I mean, damn, talk about shit in the bed and just rolling in it. That was just bad basketball for 5 games.
Right.
Yeah, first I do want to give the Pacers credit because I do know that at this time, well, around this time last year when we had gone to the finals and took care of them, we were like flash in the pan for Indiana. Like they overperformed. We will not see them again here next year. And here they are, 2 consecutive years in a row with largely the same roster. Like most of those guys are the same exact dudes that were out there last year. So I have to give them their flowers. They are a legitimate threat in the East. On the Cavs side, I mean, that was just a huge letdown. Donovan Mitchell, I will say, he did his thing all throughout this playoffs. But the rest of that gang that everyone was talking so highly about this year, they just didn't show up. Like, I know Evan Mobley had like a fairly good game 5, but Darius Garland, he was not much of a factor. I think he had 11 points. Yeah. Max Strus had a goose egg. Like you cannot be in an elimination game and you are one of the key role players. You don't score a single point. Like you've got to do better than that. So I feel like Cleveland's big claim to fame this whole year was the fact that they have such a strong supporting cast to help out Donovan Mitchell, which is what they were lacking these past few years. And then when it mattered most, almost none of those guys showed up. That was a big problem for them. And Indiana was just a bad matchup for them. Like the way Indiana plays, Cleveland just seemed overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But hey, good for Indiana. Good for Halliburton. He really showed that he's like, hey, I am a star in this league. Just to remind everybody. So.
And the thing about Cleveland is I don't know if they're going to be back to the same form next year.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if they are, but we'll see. Only time will tell. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Donovan Mitchell in this round of playoffs just didn't have the help that he needed. It's too young. They're too young. They're way too young.
Yeah. All right. The game that just ended, though, the Celtics and Knicks, now is at a 3-2. Celtics staying alive, baby. We just need that next game. That's it. We just need one more game, and then one more game, and then one more game. Yeah, the Knicks, Celtics. I don't think many people expected this to be the current situation with a Tatumless Celtics going back to MSG for Game 6. But June, we'll start with you. What do you think?
Well, I thought Boston would win this series, before the injury. In 7, I said this series could go 7 games because I just thought these teams just know each other so well by now. But right now, and they got to go to New York, and that's going to be a tough task to go into MSG without your big superstar and steal that game. I mean, they're going to have to be. Brown's going to have to be lights out, and I hope he didn't waste all his energy tonight. I hope he didn't blow it all tonight. I hope he's got something left in the tank because he's going to have to come back in front of that New York crowd and do the same thing, because we know that Brunson and Cat is going to be up to par come next game. So it's going to be tough. But if Boston can get through this game, and if they can win this game, I can see them going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
G Money.
Yeah, seems the games that the Celtics win, they are on fire from 3-point land. I mean, they're surpassing their average for the season as far as shots taken and shots made from 3-point land. When they're not, obviously, games 1, 2, and I think it was game 4 where they just really didn't have it and weren't hitting. But this actually goes to a point that Malin made last year about who would you rather have on your team, Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum. And his point was that Jaylen Brown was clutch and Jason Tatum isn't. This is where you're going to find out if that indeed is accurate. And should they have signed Jason Tatum to an extension? Because not only is he going to be gone this series, obviously, and the next if they beat the Knicks, but he's going to be gone next year. I do like how Boston is made up, and it's interesting because I know you all watched the game tonight, that Porzingis sat most of the second half, and they put Corbett in for basically defensive purposes. And he did well. I can see them winning in New York. I can see that happening. Now, if they go ice cold from 3 land and they don't decide to drive with the ball, which I never quite grasp, but if you're not hitting from the 3 and you guys are putting up like 20, 30 3-point shots and you're hitting 10 and there's an open lane, drive to the hoop, get fouled, there's your 3-point shot. But you got to give Boston credit. I mean, I'm pretty sure the New York media wrote them off. after Tatum went down, and it was reported he was going to have Achilles surgery, and he was going to be out for not just the playoffs, but for most of next year, if not all of next year or next season. Good and well that Stephen A. was already setting up party for the Knicks. He was feeling it. He was strutting, and now he's got to wait. And Boston has the players. They can win these next two games. Anybody who thinks they can't is a fool.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Malin.
I mean, Jim, we ain't got enough time in the show for me to talk about what's going on with the Celtics right now. We got so much other stuff we got to get to. But at the end of the day, what's really happening in this series is what Boston's Achilles heel is all season long, and we've seen it the whole year, where they led the league in having 20-point leads and letting their opponent get within 5 points. Led the league in it. And why? Because when we get up big, we get lazy in our slots and our shot selection.
Yep.
We get up 15 points, we get up 20 points, and it's just fucking rain city. It's like from downtown. Let it rain. Like just bam. Bam. All of a sudden I'm like, do we have 5 Russell Westbrooks out there? Like, what the fuck is happening? It happened throughout the regular season. And there were leads that we would blow, like we'd be up by 20 at the end of the second or midway through the third, and then all of a sudden we're like, why are we fighting for a win to win by 6? Like why does this happen? And that's been happening against the Knicks. Like G Money said, when we're shooting 40% from 3, not 20 and 25% from 3, we're winning ball games. So can we keep doing that? I'm not sure. I'll tell you one thing. I'm feeling a hell of a lot better about having White on my team with Tatum out, or like if Tatum or Brand was out. He's been stepping up.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people wondering, like, why? Okay, first of all, I still think that Jaylen Brown should have been on the Olympic team last year instead of White. But White's really showing, like, this is what Kerr saw in him. The situational shooter. Driving it, like, he was driving into the lane. Like, why did Boston win tonight? Because they didn't just keep jacking up threes the whole time. They kept attacking the Knicks. Why did they keep attacking the Knicks? Because they got them into foul trouble early in the third quarter. They shot 8 free throws in the first half, and I think they shot 18 free throws in the third quarter alone. Like, they started attacking the paint to build the lead, and they kept attacking the paint to keep it. They need to do that again. Get Brunson in foul trouble. That pudgy little son of a bitch, he's not good on defense. He's going to foul your ass. Like, get him in foul trouble. Get Towns. Cat always fouls out at least one game in a series. Let's get 2 in a row. Like, they're lazy in that. I didn't like that Horford fouled out, but I do like that Cornette out there with like 6 or 7 blocks, 10 boards, one out there with the behind the back. You don't see the behind the back no more in the NBA, with the behind the back looking like a Nintendo double dribble, slow motion dunk. That's crazy. You know what I'm talking about, June. You know what I'm talking about, that old Nintendo double dribble game.
Double dribble.
Like, so could they do it? Yes. Did I put money on it? Yes. Can I win a lot of money if they do? Yes. So I got skin in the game. I told Gary I wasn't gonna do it, and then I did it anyways. And so it paid off this game. I just need them to win 2 more. I'm trying to get some extra Vegas money for my work trip.
There you
So
go.
let's see if it works. But no Celtics.
Yeah. Hey, we're just keeping the dream alive, baby. We are. This game was like, if we could just play the same, like play with the same energy, I truly think that we can come back from this hole and go to the Eastern Conference Finals again, because it was led by defense and not just always settling for the 3. And it's like kind of as simple as that. It's like when you do hustle on defense and get these good stops, to go on the other end and get them in foul trouble, like that's the key. Instead of like sprinting down the court just to jack up a three. Yeah. So whether it's Brown, White, Holiday, I mean, to be honest, they're all going to need to play up instead of just one of them. But yeah, I feel like defense, like that is where we really like make our money. Is defensively, we can literally defend anybody. Like we have the best, most universal defenders in the NBA. If Brown can do his thing, if we can get Brunson to foul trouble like we did tonight, so that he has to play in a different way than his normal style. If Luke Cornett can, I don't know what Luke Cornett ate or drank, whatever it was before this game, but he was on another level tonight, and I loved every last second of it. So.
Have you ever seen someone that looks like a stockbroker block that many?
Right.
Like, that's crazy. Got to roll back.
Blocking trades.
And they're short for like before you see stuff like that.
Right.
I'll tell you one thing, Jalen. If the Celtics beat the Knicks by 15 or 20 points in Madison Square Garden, it's going to be a wrap. I think emotionally, I think the Knicks will be done at that point. If it's a close game, if the Celtics win a close game, I think the Knicks are going to put up a hell of a fight in Game 7.
Yeah.
But if we kind of wax them like we did tonight, I think it's going to be over, and I think you'll be coasting to a win like we did against Dallas in the finals last year and other teams where we get them out in like 5-6 games. So it'll be interesting. I think New York's going to come out with a lot of energy because I think there's going to be desperation, not wanting to go back to Boston. They're going to try to knock us out early, and if we can stay in it, maybe they get a little bit tired. I mean, hey, maybe we can knee Brunson in the nuts again and get him to foul out the same play like we just did at the end of that game. Jaylen Brown was like, "Foul me, bam, knee to the nuts. You're still out. Go sit down." How you get kneed in the nuts and foul out in the same goddamn sequence?
Oh my gosh,
that was pretty embarrassing.
It's just adding insult to injury there. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, foul on you and take a hike. Just go ahead. Just walk. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't. Have a couple of your teammates help you over to the bench there and have a seat and put some ice on that.
All right, we are going to talk about the Tatum injury, but we're doing that in the news, so stay tuned. Thunder and Nuggets, that is now at 3-2 Thunder. June, what do you think about this one?
This is a great series. I like the way both of these teams are playing. All the games have just been so good. I have been impressed by both teams. OKC is playing. I mean, SGA is showing that he's a superstar. He took over that one game in the fourth quarter, and I think it was the last game, and it really showed that the kid's a superstar. But they're going back and forth. This is going 7. This series is going 7. I don't think the Nuggets are going to take them out in this game. I don't think OKC is going to take them out in this game. So I think this series is going 7. It's a great series. This is playoff basketball, and they're playing some real playoff basketball here. And yes, again, hats off to the Nuggets for coach being fired at the end of the season and still willing to play this hard throughout the postseason. So shout out to them. But yeah, it's a great series. And I can tell you what, the team who wins this series may win the NBA championship.
G-Money.
Well, I mean, it's a good series. It's a great series. I don't think so. When you look at Denver, when they win, they have balanced scoring. I mean, Jokic's hitting for 28 points. You've got Murray hitting for 25, 26. You've got Gordon hitting for 23, 24. you got either Porter or Westbrook kicking in 20-plus points. Those are the games they win. The games they lose is when you have Jokic kicking in 30-plus points and then one other player kicking in like 20, 25. I think the Thunder are a better team. I think they're better balanced. I'll give credit where credit's due with the Nuggets as far as coaching, but it seems like Jokic is the coach. I mean, if you guys see him on the sidelines and the timeouts and everything, he seems to be telling the players what to do and where to, what's going on. So I like the series. I think I'm with the majority that basically want the Thunder to just go the fuck away. But you just look at the Thunder, you look at the team, and you realize they're a well put together team, well balanced. And anytime you can have someone coming off the bench averaging 20-plus points a game in Caruso and hitting clutch shots, you got a good team. I do like the series. I just don't think it's a great series, but I do like the series.
Malin?
I hate this series. If there's three things, okay. I want to talk about the top 5 things I hate. 3 of them are in this series. 1, Oklahoma City. Die. Dirty bomb, plastic vest, lose a nuke. I don't give a shit. I don't care about Oklahoma City. Number 2, Canada. So SGA is Canadian. With your universal healthcare. We got better syrup in Vermont. Shut up. Third, the way that Denver plays basketball. Okay, I thought we were done with this Spurs shit where you just have a bunch of white people rooting for a bunch of black people playing basketball and you win some championships every now and then. It just pisses me off. The game is boring when Denver wins. Like, even last night, we're watching the game and they show, like, the Joker has 41 points. And I was like, I swear to God, I thought he had 13. Like, when did the Joker get 41? And then I realized I must have fallen asleep during some of Denver's offensive possessions because it's boring as shit to watch. Like, it's just not fun to watch Denver play basketball. Like, who wants to see somebody that rather be spanking horses' asses getting 41 points, and Murray, who's another Canadian, by the way, trying to break shots, and Russell Westbrook running into people and just looking like a fucking wet dog jumping out of a pool trying to hit a 3 and bricking everything. It's just bad looking basketball. But I will say this, that SGA is making the Maple Leafs proud. He played a great game last night. I do think that Denver is going to stave off, the Joker going to play with his horses for at least one more game. I do think Denver has enough in the tank to get one more. They're going to need a great game out of Murray. They're able to get like a quarter and a half out of Russell Westbrook. They need 3 quarters out of Murray. Like G Money said, Joker can't be getting 45 and 12 and 13 and you beat Oklahoma. If he's having to do that, Oklahoma's winning that game because they're just more balanced. Michael Porter Jr., with your broken back, it made you not play for Washington and go to Purdue, I think. Fuck you too. Do better than your facial hair because that looks just gross as shit. So literally both of these teams have if the team planes collided on the way to Denver, I would throw a party and make tacos for everybody.
Oh my God.
So,
well, I do not feel as strongly about either one of these teams as my co-host here. I do agree with G. I think this is a good series. I don't think it's a great one. Just because like Malin is saying, like Denver doesn't exactly play the most exciting offense. There's no like rivalry between these two franchises. So it's like, it's entertaining from the fact that it's just good competitive basketball, but that's about it. Yeah, if Denver is gonna force a game 7, which I think they will, it's just as simple as they need that supporting cast to come through because they can't depend on Jokic to make it all. And I really think that Jamal Murray is the X factor. Like if nobody else decides to come along with Jokic, it has to be Jamal Murray. If he pops off for 25 to 30 points, I mean, I think you can stamp a game 7 for sure. If that does not happen, the Thunder are just too good, and they have way too many fast weapons that are gonna run up that score fast, as we've seen in the past. So, yeah, I don't think.
It just sounds disgusting, and it makes me angry when you say it because it's true. And also, you know what? Fuck the NBA for making me root for Denver in this situation. Like, the fact that I got to root for one of these teams. Yeah. Hey, before we get to the news, can I throw a trivia question out there for you? It's gonna be great.
We still got one more game.
What player number in the NBA and no player wear? It's not retired. It's just banned and you can't wear it.
I have no clue.
99?
Not 99.
Oh.
Everyone gets one try. It's banned in the NBA, not other sports, but for some reason it's banned in the NBA, and you're gonna laugh your ass off when I tell you the number.
69.
69. It's banned in the NBA. Nobody is allowed to wear 69 in the NBA.
God.
It's pretty stupid.
Just stupid. Just stupid.
Well,
there's an offensive lineman in the NFL on like every NFL team, but like y'all missing out.
Let's go to this last series real quick. The Wolves and the Warriors. Not gonna lie, this is like the least entertaining out of all these series. June, we'll start with you. What do you think about this?
Yeah, this is easy. This series is over. Steph's not playing again tonight. I mean, this series is over. Minnesota's just having their way with them. If Minnesota dropped this game, the coach should get fired tonight. They lose tonight, fire that damn coach. Okay? Mid-play, I don't give a shit. If he loses tonight without Steph Curry, fire his ass. Because, there should be no reason. And this series is terrible. It's boring. I'm just sitting back looking. I'm like, okay, yeah, it comes at 10 o'clock. I'm not watching anyway. But the simple fact of the matter is this series is over. Timberwolves win by 20 tonight.
G-Money.
Well, I mean, I will agree. It's not one of those series that you're like, man, let me watch that. And here on the West Coast, it comes on at 7, and we've got it on, and I'm watching it because, well, the Mariners aren't playing now. They played earlier and lost. We won't go into that. But I mean, you watch the Warriors and you're like, man, Green, what are you, like 35? You look at the other players and it's really hard. I mean, I see that the one kid, Podensky, whatever his name is, looks like the illegitimate child of Will Ferrell and Steph Curry. I mean,
I call him Placenta.
Pretty sure.
I can't pronounce his name.
Pretty sure something happened there. Not saying, but but it's just not a game. This whole series, once Steph went out, you just didn't care. You just don't care, and like someone telling you, hey, there's a race between a Yugo and a Pacer. You want to go watch it? It's like, no.
I'm taking the Pacer.
Right. This is the dumbest ass series in the whole playoffs. Didn't Minnesota go to the Western Conference Finals last year against Dallas?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay,
they did.
so the two losers last year are going to go back to the Eastern and Western Conference Finals. That's cute. This series, I liken this, and those of you that have kids, you're going to understand what I'm saying here. Is if you've been in the room in the delivery, right? Birth a child,
Okay.
it's beautiful, it's amazing. You're holding that
Mhm,
child, you're
mhm.
looking at it. That is the other three series. And then after the child is birthed, what comes after that? This
The
nasty ass
afterbirth.
bag of shit called a placenta. That's what this series is. It's just a bag of bloody shit. Just goddamn disgusting. Nobody I don't even think Minnesota's playing great. They're
No.
not playing great. They're just
No,
playing better than Golden State without Steph Curry. If Steph
Mhm.
Curry was in
exactly.
this series, Golden State would be winning. I firmly believe that. Because it's not like Minnesota's wowing you.
Yeah.
Um, and okay, you know what else is in my top 5? Of things I hate? The French. And so go Bear, go fuck yourself. Like I'm sick and tired of seeing all these things I hate in the NBA playoffs. But here we are. Here we are. This is what we get to look forward to.
Oh,
Canadians and
Draymond to choke him again.
they yeah. Oh well, that sounded sexual the way you said it. They might do that. But yeah, I mean, even right now, it's like 27-21, and I honestly don't care. I really don't.
Yeah. I think it was the last it may have been the last game. I don't know, or maybe 2 games ago. It was a close game and it came down to the wire and Minnesota just like pulled ahead in the last couple of minutes. And it was the
Yeah,
most boring close game out of all
yeah.
these playoffs. I was like, neither
It
team is
was
really hitting a whole lot
terrible.
of shots. And then Minnesota just like by default, they just so happened to just make a couple more shots than what the Warriors were missing. And
Right.
that was that. But yeah. When Steph went down, all entertainment factor kind of deflated right out of this series. So
I
Minnesota
blame the
should
Lakers.
and will win this series. I don't think Steph is probably not going to come back because I mean, hell, Minnesota
And,
should wrap this up tonight. So
and two other things, real quick. One, first of all, what happened to playoff Butler? What happened to playoff Jimmy?
yeah,
What is going on with that?
isn't that why they brought him here?
Yeah, they brought him in there.
He's Emu Butler now.
So that's crazy. So Nestor's, probably out there trying to hook up with some lady, just thinking about the fact that Jimmy Butler isn't playing good for Golden State and is giving him a hard on right now. And second, Anthony Edwards, is he not one of the greatest enigmas in the NBA right now who has the talent to be one of the best in the NBA? But I can't wrap my mind around the player. I see the talent, but I don't necessarily see the drive. I don't know what it. I can't really explain what I'm trying to say. I don't know if you guys can interpret what I'm trying to say. I just see someone with unmitigated talent, and like right now, he just threw the ball at the knees of a Golden State Warrior. Like I don't know what. Instead of throwing a shot up, he said, "Here's a knee. Let me bounce it off your knee." I don't. It just he could be the face of the NBA. He already said he didn't want to be. Which why would you want to be if
Right.
you've looked at what LeBron James has gone through over the last 27 years? Like, why would you want to be the face of the NBA? Everyone's just gonna hate your ass anyways. But he has so much talent, but it just doesn't. The whole package isn't there. I don't get it. I don't understand why it's not there. So he's kind of an enigma to me.
I think he needs to stop having illegitimate children.
Oh, okay.
God damn.
Let's go.
I mean, oh
Let's keep it rolling into the news.
I didn't stop some NFL players. I'll tell you that much.
So let's start off with Jason Tatum having surgery yesterday to repair his torn Achilles, which he suffered in the last few minutes of that game 4. Yeah, that was a huge, just a massive shock, and I think took the air out of probably all Celtics fans. all at once. Yeah, that was a depressing thing to just watch happen in real time. Yeah, what do you guys think about this one? We'll start with you, Malin.
It came in the midst of us blowing a 14-point lead, and I think we were down by 6 or 7 when the injury occurred. So it was just insult to injury, no pun intended. Wow, that sounded terrible. For it to be a non-contact injury, and you knew it was real when you looked at him. You never believe when Brunson's hurt, because he's a bitch. But you saw Tatum on the floor just writhing in pain. Someone could step on Brunson's big toe, and he's like, "Oh my god, like I need surgery." What a pansy. Um, but it sucks for this one. Like we didn't lose the game because he got hurt.
Right.
Okay. He was having a great game, 42 points. What was kind of killing us, and you know what, Jalen, you can hate me for this, is that he was trying to continue to be clutch with 6 or 7 minutes left. Made him his best when he scores his 40 points and then let Brown finish the job. And he wasn't doing that. He missed a few shots. I'm just being honest, man. I'm being honest. I'm looking at this over the last few years. There's a reason why Brown was the NBA Finals MVP, even though Tatum scored more points per game than him. Okay, like there's a reason for that. They blew a 14-point lead. They were down by I think 6 or 7 when he got hurt. But what really sucks is that you really potentially damage the opportunity to win a championship this year. Okay. We just saw them beat the brakes off the Knicks, so that's crazy. But then you're gonna miss him for all of next year. And these NBA title windows are so short. Unless you're LeBron James, and unless you're Golden State, they can pick up Kevin Durant to extend yours. Because everybody remember Golden State won a title and then they lost the title. And they're like, Durant, we need some help, man. Come help us out. Like in the NBA, there's a lot of one and dones, and there's a lot of reasons why that happened. And so for 2 potential championship windows to potentially be cut short because we don't have one of our 2 best players in an era where it's going to continue to be harder to keep the great players that you have with the way that they have the luxury tax and everything else going forward, it's like his window already been shut. Like we thought in 2008 when the Celtics won, and then then Garnett got hurt, but then it went back again, and there always seems to be this injury that happens now with the Celtics, that just hurts them, and so it's unfortunate because we had a window to win 2 or 3 in like 4 years, I thought, with the talent that we had on that roster, everybody locked up. And so for Tatum to be gone for next year, he's gone for the playoffs, is really disheartening. And it really sucks. And as much as I bag on him for not being clutch, he is great. He just doesn't have that Mamba mentality that he wants to have. And case in point, Mamba mentality. Let's talk about it for a second, Jalen. Like I've never torn my Achilles, okay, but I saw Kobe Bryant tear his Achilles at 35, and like acted like he stubbed a toe, and then walked up there, hit 2 free throws, and then walked off the court. Tatum tore his Achilles. You thought he got shot like a Reagan assassination attempt. And then they had to wheel him into the locker room like Paul Pierce shit his pants in the 2008 finals. So Mamba mentality, kiss my ass. Like he doesn't have it. He's not that guy. He's great, but he's not that guy. He's more of a Pippen than a Jordan. I'm sorry I said it. I said it. I said it, people. Said it. Don't hate me. Love him, but it just sucks that happened now and when it happened.
Yeah, it's a tough one, a weird one, and unfortunately, I feel like unless this gang somehow wins another title as currently constructed, I think there's going to be some major changes made within the. By the time he comes back, I think there's going to be some major changes made to the roster,
Right.
kind of because they have to in some instances, like with Holiday and Porzingis, like they're not exactly young. So yeah, unless we were to win it all somehow, that's probably has to happen. Celtics fans, I think I've heard some saying, "Oh, that we lost because Tatum got like." No, we were going to lose that game regardless.
Right.
But it was going to be because of Tatum, no matter what. Whether he got hurt or he kept trying to be clutch, we were going to lose that game.
I don't think it was
Like,
because of him, because he
oh
was
man,
the
he
only
got the
thing that
42
was
points and he missed
keeping
like
us.
3 shots in a row.
If you look at the fourth quarter scoring, he was the only person keeping us alive in the fourth quarter.
And then he stopped making shots.
Well, I'm saying up until a certain point, and then he's trying to pass the ball to Brown, and then Brown turns the ball over. Oh my
Yeah, that
God.
wasn't good either. I don't know why. I kind of feel like Brown has a little bit of Samson going on with him from the Bible. I don't know why he cut his hair. He ain't been the same player since he cut his hair. What the fuck is going on, Brown? What are we doing? Like, you need to like do a poll with Boston fans before you do something like that, where you cut your hair. But like, you don't do something big. There's a reason why in hockey in the NHL playoffs, no one shaves their face. Just you let it. You don't do like shit like that, Brown. What are we doing?
Right.
White, on the other hand, 34 points, baby. White is
Yeah.
White is out there.
G Money, do you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, it will be hard going forward without Tatum. Because even though he's, for the most part, not clutch, it's hard to replace those points. And as we've spoken in the past, it's difficult with the new CBA and the luxury tax and the penalties that are involved. And you're right, Jalen. Next year, there's some decisions going to be made. Porzingis is not healthy. Do you look to trade him, create more cap space, get someone else in? And Drew Holiday, do you let him go because you're not going to be able to afford them?
Right.
So it's going to be an interesting thing, and I still think that they can pull off Game 6 if they can hit 40% of their threes, because they still play good. And they were hitting 43% during the regular season. So it's not like you're asking them to hit 60% of their threes. You're asking them to do just a little less than what they do in the regular season, and you're asking them to play defense is what they do too. I mean, they were a top 3 defensive team in the NBA. So all you really want them to do is play defense, hit 40% from the 3-point land, and if the three's not there, drive. And as we saw tonight, you drive, you get the Knicks in foul trouble. And then, come third quarter, you can step on the gas because now they're afraid to defend you because now they've got 3 or 4 fouls. And as we've seen, even though the Knicks bench has stepped up somewhat in the playoffs, they still don't have the experience that the Celtics bench does. So it's going to be tough for Boston going through these playoffs this year, and next year they'll figure it out because that's what these playoffs are going to do. It's going to allow them to figure out what team they have next year. So they could easily go to the Eastern Conference Finals, and they could still beat Indiana if everything goes right. They could find themselves in the NBA Finals. Whether they win there, that's another story. But it would give them something to look at as far as what are we going to do next year, because we know that Tatum's going to be out probably the whole season. So how are we going to compensate for that?
June?
I will say this. I'll say this real quick, Jalen. I think Horford's gonna retire after this year.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have a hole. Okay. If they bring back 90% of this team next year, even in the East, they could end up the 3 seed, even without Tatum. They're that
Right.
they're that talented if they can get a big guy they can contribute like Horford. And I will also say this: free agent wise, if they want to blow the team up, they want to do something else. Like Boston is a place that people want to come play for because Missoula is a hell of a coach.
Yeah.
Brad Stevens knows what he's doing as a GM, managing the money. There's a reason why they've been to 5 Eastern Conference Finals in like 7 years.
Right.
And people do want to come there. And he works out some crazy trades to get people, like a Holiday, like a Porzingis, right? Getting Horford back after we had gotten rid of him before.
Right.
So I think Boston's going to be okay, but will they be better than what they were this year? No.
Go ahead, Jim.
Oh, real quick, I'm gonna say this real quick. I think Jason Tatum, and I'm strictly sticking with Jason Tatum on this. I think Jason Tatum was one of the faces of the NBA, and to see him go down like this, I think it hurts the product of the NBA. Injuries always happen, but when you see a superstar, we're talking about a bona fide superstar go down, it does kind of hurt some of the stuff in the NBA, especially a guy who you think that this team was probably headed back to the finals again. But so I hope I know he's probably going to be out again next year, but I hope he comes back soon. For the NBA's sake, I hope Tatum comes back soon.
So Minnesota's a piece of shit, allowing this to be like a
7-point game. Yeah.
Okay, they hit a 3, but yeah, they just what? Jesus Christ! All right, I'm sorry. Let's go to my favorite topic of this whole show. That I'm so glad you put this on there, Jalen. Holy shit!
Mavs win the draft lottery. They get the first pick. So go ahead, Malin.
Oh my God, the Mavs land the first pick. Oh, it's like the NBA doesn't even try to act like the lottery isn't rigged. I swear to God, like Jalen, I'm telling you, the trade to LA makes so much more sense now. Because why would you give Luka up to the Lakers for nothing? Because the commissioners, Adam Silver, that little alien little motherfucker he looked like, he was like, hey, I'll give you the first round pick if you do it. There's been this conspiracy theory since the first lottery draft. When back in '84, when the Knicks, at that time, the Knicks had the lowest percentage to get the number 1 pick. And who did David Stern pull out of there? Oh yeah, they said it's because they froze the envelope so he could feel which one was cold. He pulled that one out of the thing, and the Knicks got Patrick. You can shake your head, June.
85. That was 85, sir.
85. Okay, 85.
It was 85.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I was 1 year off. I'm sorry, I was born in '81. Forgive me for being off by 1 year. All right. So like this has been happening forever. Like it just so happens that LeBron James goes to Miami, and then the next year when Cleveland doesn't go to the playoffs, they get the number 1 pick. Like the NBA isn't rewarding them for letting LeBron James leave to Miami. Like this shit's been happening all the time, man. Like this is stupid. They had what, a 1.8% chance or 11% chance, something stupid. They should have been the 11. They should have had the 11th pick, and they get the first pick.
Didn't this happen with San Antonio too when they got Tim Duncan?
No.
Yeah.
Actually, it didn't. And it didn't happen with the Knicks either. So the Knicks in '85, that was not true. They had a 24% chance of winning the lottery.
24%. That's crazy.
24%. That's actually one of the highest percentages you can have. Now, if you want to talk conspiracy, if you want to go there and talk that, then you can talk about the 2007 draft, where the Chicago Bulls had the same percentage as the Mavericks did this year, and got, who did they get? Oh
Derrick
yeah,
Rose.
Derrick Rose. Yeah.
It's wild. So it's rigged, man. The lottery is rigged. We can stop acting like it's not.
No, it's not.
No, it is. Stop it, June. Don't be one of them. Don't just because you're a Dallas fan, shut the fuck up.
I mean,
I just realized I literally forgot he was a Dallas fan because I don't think he actually owns anything Dallas Mavericks. I've seen him wear Texas. I've seen him wear the Navy. I've seen him wear the Cowboys. I've never seen him wear anything Dallas. But he's claiming them. But
No, so I'm gonna tell you why. All of my Maverick stuff is still in Dallas at my in-laws' house. So when I go to the game, I already have it there. That's why.
you can't bring one T-shirt. You can't
Well,
bring one.
I
T-shirt.
do have a couple.
You only got two things, and you wear those to the game when you go to the games. Can't bring one T-shirt, June.
I do have a couple of stuff up here.
Even last year in the finals, did y'all see him wearing anything Dallas in the finals last year? Not a goddamn thing. No, you didn't. You ain't got a single goddamn thing.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I didn't have my
You just
look
said
at
back in Dallas, June. Don't lie.
I didn't. I have a Mavericks T-shirt. God.
So now you get a white boy from Duke whose last name rhymes with something that I'm not going to say because I'll get us canceled. He's going to be the next JJ Redick, so that's cool. Just white boy will get. I don't know. This is the worst possible year for you to have the number one pick because I don't think that Strag is going to be anywhere close to a Luka. I think it'd be good. I think Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving are like, all right, well that's cool. We get a rookie. I don't think he's going to do that much for Denver because by the time that Strag actually gets good, Irving and Davis will be gone. So, I don't really
Clay's going to do
Dallas that much better because Irving and Davis can't stay healthy.
Right.
And Clay can't either. Clay can't stay healthy either.
Yeah, y'all gave him a bag of money too.
Yeah, I know. And so for me, looking at this, I'm not the biggest Cooper Flag fan because, of course, I'm a North Carolina fan, so I hate everything Duke. But I don't know if this guy is going to be able to translate his game from the college to the NBA because, let's face it, not a lot of Duke players can make that transition. Only very few have made that transition to where they start. Kyrie and Jason Tatum. That's it.
Grant Hill, you gonna disrespect Grant Hill? He got hurt, but don't disrespect Grant Hill.
Yep.
Don't disrespect Grant Hill.
No, that was okay. What I'm saying is those two. Let's start. I'm not trying to go back too far. Stay in modern times. In the modern times, a lot of these Duke players. Look at Barquero. In Orlando. The kid hasn't. The kid was the number one pick and has not, done anything yet. So
he's going to get Boston. I hate him for it. He's an all-star.
He's an all-star. What else do you want from
I don't know that he's top 10 in the league. I think
but what has Orlando done? What I'm saying is, what has Orlando done?
But no one thinks about him. Well, what else do they have?
Right. Like, you can't really ask much more from him.
No, they had the number one pick the last 7 years. It feels like they've been picking in the top 10 the last 7 years.
So
they can't put together a team. Trust the process.
Yeah,
it's a process.
I will say this, June. You are right that Duke players, by and large, when you're a star at Duke, it does not translate into stardom in the NBA. And you are right, like Banchero, like if he got out of Orlando, maybe, but he's never. But hey, someone like Shaq coming out of LSU transcends the Orlando Magic. You get Penny Hardaway out of Memphis, transcends Orlando Magic. He has not been able to elevate Orlando to that depth. But I think he's the most talented of the recent Duke players. But you are right, like Duke players, man, when you get to the NBA, like they don't translate into the superstar. They're really good role players for the most part. Now Banchero is more than a role player. You got to give him.
He is.
But normally, you just become a really good role player. Shane Battier, isn't he a Duke player?
Yeah.
Battier with the wrinkled ass head.
Elton Brand, Luau Dang. Yeah, Elton Brand, Luau Dang, those guys, they're all role players.
And
Yeah.
I think that he's going to be a really good role player, but that's just how bad the number one pick is. When, first of all, it's an American player right now because it's been international for forever. So the fact that it's going to be a white guy in America, I'm like, damn, did Europe run out of basketball players?
It was a gap
Did
year for
they
Europe.
run out of talent?
It's a gap year. Yeah.
Is that it? Canada ain't got nobody.
Well,
We got this black guy from Duke.
so that's what I'm waiting to see what he is going to do when it comes to going to the Mavericks. I mean, he's not. Well, okay. So the thing is, he's not going to have to do much when he gets to the Mavericks because you're still going to have Kyrie, Anthony Davis, and Klay Thompson.
For 40 games.
So those guys. So yeah, well, yeah. But what I'm saying is, he's not going to have to do much when he comes out. He's just going to have to be. He's going to be a role player with those three guys out there. That's all he's going to be asked to do, is to be a role player. He's not going to be asked to take over the team because you got guys with championships. You got three guys with championships under their belt. So I mean, if they can stay healthy, maybe they can make the playoffs.
Games a year, June.
He is going to learn how to tape ankles and ice knees and sit down for a long time.
Yeah.
He's like the art of the ice bath. That's what.
Yeah, we're out there playing.
Some old ass people on that Dallas team.
I mean, what if Dallas trades that pick and a couple of other first round picks to Milwaukee for Giannis?
They said they weren't.
They said they wasn't.
They still could.
Just because they said they wouldn't doesn't mean they won't. I mean, you get a proven player. You get someone who, for the most part, is healthy. You get a scorer. You get someone who plays defense. You get a known quantity. You get an all-star.
Yeah.
If Milwaukee wants to be irrelevant for 3 years, 4 years.
Well, no, Milwaukee needs draft picks to build their team because they don't have any. So I mean,
you have said that like Giannis wants out.
Yeah.
When you have someone like Giannis that says I'm open to it, that's him saying, "Get me the fuck out of Milwaukee." Right.
Yeah.
I hate the city. It's Milwaukee, for God's sakes. Who wants to live in Milwaukee? I won a championship. Yeah, I haven't been able to put a championship caliber team around me. He wants out. He's doing what Dame should have done 5 years earlier in his career.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yes. Too loyal to Portland. I'll be interested to see where Giannis goes because D-Money's right. He's going to be on the trading block. But where is he going to go? Does Milwaukee want picks or do they want players? Do they want to move into the realm of possibly contending in a few years, or they just want to make money for the next 5 years and be so bad they get their own lottery picks? Because Giannis doesn't want to play there anymore. But I think Giannis wants to go to a contender. And I guess Dallas could be a contender if you put him there. I just worry about the health of Anthony Davis and Kyrie. They would have to stay healthy. You would have to do load management on those two to a crazy degree and make sure that you're like the 4 or 5 seed. You don't want to be in a play-in. They would have to load manage those guys.
Yeah.
Where they're like the 4th or 5th seed.
Yeah.
And then they could probably wreak some havoc in the playoffs. So that might be a good move, G Money. I think Dallas is smart enough to do it, and I think Milwaukee's dumb enough to do it. We'll see. That'd be crazy.
All right.
I mean, it would. I mean,
move on here to this thing rolling. Real quick, let's hit Derek Carr retiring from the NFL after getting hurt again in the offseason. What do you guys think about this one? We can rapid fire here.
Rapid
Yeah,
fire,
I
real
mean-
quick. He deserves so much better than what he got in his NFL career. The Raiders, he was a better quarterback than what they got out of him. I think Gruden didn't like him from the moment he came in. I don't know why, because Gruden liked veteran QBs until they got to Oakland. I think he's a stand-up guy. I think he had some kind of bet with Phillip Rivers on who could have more kids. It was a weird move by him by always trying to show like his shoulders and his biceps in practice, because he would always like put his things up like this, like that. That was always weird. Like, you're a quarterback, man. Calm down. You ain't gotta look like JJ Watt. But I think that he was really good. I think he's Matt Hasselbeck-esque as far as you're always in the middle of the pile. As far as a good QB, deserve to have more talent, deserve to keep more talent around. They would put talent around him. They were rotating the talent like every couple of years. Different offensive coordinators, different head coaches all the time. But wishing him the best, and now maybe he can finally stop putting eyeliner on, because I'm pretty sure that he put eyeliner on all the time. He always had them dark lines around his eyes. That was weird as shit. But Godspeed to you, Derek Carr.
Yeah, I just thought that he was underrated, just a bit underrated. And like Malin, you made probably the best point. He had such a revolving door at wide receiver. Outside of Amari Cooper, when he was still like kind of a rookie, I can't really name any like noteworthy receivers that he ever really had after that.
Oh, Renfro, that was it.
Antonio Brown.
All right,
Antonio Brown for what, preseason?
right.
I'm just saying, but he had him. He had him. So.
He never played a regular season game and froze his feet on a hot air balloon.
But he was always just like I felt like just like a right above average quarterback that just never really had that
he never got a fair shot.
cast around him to go any higher.
2018, his brother too.
2018, when he broke his ankle, that was the year that Patrick Mahomes did his crazy shit, and like set the world on fire. But if Patrick Mahomes wasn't doing what he was doing in Kansas City, 2018, Derek Carr, before he broke his ankle, I think he led him to 11 wins that year. He was balling that year in Oakland. Broke his ankle. The team was never the same. Revolving coaches, offensive coordinators, talent going around. You don't want to pay Josh Jacobs. You you get Devontae Adams, but then you ship off other talent. Waller, you shipped him off to the Giants. It's like you never put all the Raiders never put all the pieces together around him, and they never had a good defense. In a division, like it just wasn't going to happen.
He needs to sell that team.
2 good weeks where they scored over 50 points, and then the wheels fall off. It was, I don't know.
Mark Davis needs to sell that team.
Right now.
He really does. He needs to sell that team. Mark Davis needs to sell the Raiders. He needs to sell the team.
He needs
if
to
he
fire
sold the team, how is he going to keep that 24-year-old girlfriend? How is that going to happen?
Well, probably
money. More time.
It might help.
But fire your barber first before you sell the team. Fire like, who tells him like this is a good look for you, man? Hey, that's the epitome of just having yes men around you at all times. Like, my guy.
He's got Stevie Wonder as his barber.
Jesus Christ. Fucking Helen Keller. You can't even like suggest something because she can't hear it because she's deaf too. Like, my God.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, for Derek Carr, he signed that $140 million contract last year and then got injured. He gets to keep $17.1 million of that. The signing bonus, prorated sign bonus the Saints are going to come after him for. Plus, he's going to keep another $10 million this year. The Saints get minor relief, salary cap relief. It's like 230 some thousand this year, and then it increases a little bit next year. And he gets to rehab on his own time. He doesn't have to listen to, and he can see his own docs. He doesn't have to listen to what the Raiders docs have to say or anything like that. Plus, I think he knew that for his contract and for all the bonuses to kick in, he had to pass a physical, and he had to be able to partake in practice and games. And I think he knew that he couldn't do that. And so, his agents just came up with a deal with the Saints saying, hey, listen, he retires, you get some salary cap relief, you don't go after him for $17.1 million of the $28 million signing bonus. And the bonus he was going to get this year, just change that to a signing bonus, $10 million, and he's done. And now the Saints can really suck this year, and they can draft their quarterback of the future next year, because their quarterback of the future is not on their roster right now.
And who did they draft?
The kid from Louisville.
Yeah, slow. I mean, kids played what? Oregon, Texas Tech, Louisville. Played 7 years, but only played like
we've seen this play
32 games, I think, because he's been injured everywhere he's gone. So
injured every year.
And you know what's crazy? Is Alvin Kamara still on the team?
No.
Good question. I think so. Maybe. Possibly.
Who
was the wide receiver? Who was the wide receiver? Michael Thomas?
Michael Thomas.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Michael Thomas
He's
is
always
he
hurt.
still on the team? Is he still on the Saints?
I feel like as
is.
of just last year, he finally parted ways.
I think he's still there.
Right.
Let me look up.
The Saints are wishing that Drew Brees came back at this point. Yeah, I mean, I know that they're saying that this QB class next year is going to be great. Oh, he's a free agent, Michael Thomas. Okay.
Yeah.
Had a stub toe for 5 years. Yeah, the Saints are going to be god awful. They're just going to be bad, and couldn't happen to a better team.
Yeah, there is no doubt that they should finish last in that division next year.
You can just go back.
Finish last in the NFL.
No, they can just go back to taking the S off the name and just calling them the Aints again, because that's what they were.
Oh, they're going to be putting bags over their head
so long, and Drew Brees held that team together for a long time. It's 10:48. We need to go to break. We got some. God damn.
Yeah, I mean, we have an option. We can either just go to break, or we can just, because the schedule is kind of the last thing we have here.
Let's push on through, but I think we should take another shot, though.
Yes, regardless.
Oh, well, let me get that ready. I wasn't ready for another shot.
Hello.
So give me a minute. I'm prepared. Pretty sad.
We'll go 60 seconds. The Saints, though, man. I mean, listen, if you've been along as long as June and I have been around this earth, we know the Saints weren't shit without Drew Brees, and they ain't going to be shit without Drew Brees.
You know what's so funny about them? In the 1990s, they had one good team, or it was the 80s. They had one good team. They were 12-4, and they lost in the playoffs in the first round. And they had that was the first year they ever beat San Francisco. They won that division, and they lost. I was just like, "Wow, Saints!"
Do you remember? Remember when they had the quarterback Bobby Haybear?
Bobby Haybear. Oh my God, Bobby Haybear. Bobby Haybear.
That was Haybear. The H was silent. Oh man.
Oh my God.
The only good quarterback they had at the Saints before Drew Brees was Jordan Brooks. Wasn't that bad. Jordan Brooks was not that bad. He was number 2. He was in the late 90s.
Yeah. I remember him.
But Bobby Hebert in the NFC West, when the Rams had Jim Everett and the Niners had Steve Young and the Falcons were rolling out Fucking Jeff George, he would throw for 4,000 yards, but 25 interceptions. That was great. NFC West was killer back then. I love how New Orleans was in the NFC West. By the way, that always made me. Anyway.
Atlanta was in the NFC West.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Yeah, he had 2 teams in the actual West. All right, let's raise them up.
No.
Oh, you ain't got another beer?
No. I got to get up in a shit.
We ain't doing a draft? Not again?
Yeah.
He's sitting.
All right. Let's hit this schedule. So this was like just fully released just a couple hours ago. I think the kind of week 1 standouts, the opening game, we got Cowboys at Eagles. Gotta love that. Not too sure. Whatever. More interestingly, Friday, the next day, the NFL's continuing with this Brazil game between the Chiefs and the Chargers. And this will be a YouTube exclusive, which I believe this is the first time there'll be a exclusive YouTube game. So I feel like that's a pretty interesting one.
I got YouTube TVs. I'm fine.
The first Sunday night game is a Ravens-Bills matchup in Buffalo. And the first Monday night game, we've got the Vikings at the Bears.
The Bears.
So I feel like, there's some interesting primetime games there within the week 1. Anything? We're not going to go week by week here, but just as week 1, does anything stand out for you guys?
No, I mean the Cowboys and the Eagles week 1. It's been a while. It's been a few years since the Cowboys and Eagles have faced on week 1.
Yeah.
Because normally the team has to win the Super Bowl. And the Cowboys haven't done that since 95. I'm sorry, June. I've been drinking. I'm sorry. That was mean. That was rude. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Let me hit you guys with some international games.
As you should be.
I'm sorry, June.
So like I said, Chargers and Chiefs, Brazil. Week 4, though, NFL will have their first game in Ireland between the Vikings and the Steelers.
Right.
That's very interesting. Vikings, they're going to be staying overseas. They were playing the Browns Vikings Browns in London, week 5. And then Broncos Jets in London, week 6. Rams Jags in London, week 7. And then in Berlin, week 10, we've got the Falcons and the Colts. And then in Spain, I believe this is the first game in Spain, in Madrid, week 11, Commanders Dolphins.
I love how we just send like the flea market games overseas. Like we're like everything you just said is like if these games are on, the only reason why I'm watching them is if I have Red Zone on. But now you got to put them on prime time at 9:30. So I'm gonna have to wake up and make some coffee, and before I put this game on, I'm gonna have to pour some Baileys in it because I gotta stomach this matchup. Like that's what you're telling me is what we're doing. I'm glad that my Seahawks are not going overseas.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I think,
I'm excited over the fact that we're bringing a game to Spain. That's important. We should really tap into the Spain market because we need that.
We do. Well, because the NFL wants to revisit the old NFL Europe.
Yeah.
And they're seriously thinking about starting up another league over there where, where you have 6 teams.
European league.
Yeah,
they need
basically
to do that.
another.
Don't fold it into the NFL. Make a separate league.
No. Well, yeah, because, That makes perfect sense. And then you could maybe, like you use the UFL, use them as a farm system. But let's be honest,
Yeah,
all the
somehow,
players you see in the UFL or you see in that used to play in NFL Europe, very few of them ever made it to the NFL. It was either players that played 1 or 2 seasons or 3 seasons in the NFL. They were bench players at best, and they're trying to make a name for themselves. Or you had guys that weren't people that weren't drafted or had got cut in training camp. They were going over there to try and get a second shot, but they don't. You don't get a second shot for the most part.
Our Seahawks had a quarterback, John Kitna. We got him. He played for the Frankfurt Galaxy before he came to the Seahawks. John Kitna.
Gelball played in NFL Europe too, but neither one of them turned out to be great quarterbacks.
Maybe we can send Dak over there. I'm sorry, June. God damn it. Just I'm sorry. Being mean. Being mean. You know what? I get to say as much shit as I want to about the Cowboys because I picked Dak to win MVP and the Cowboys to do, and then they just shit the bed worse than anybody that's a quadriplegic with IBS. Like, Jesus Christ.
They had injuries.
Like, Jesus Christ. That fucking team. I'm going to shit on them as much as possible. I'm going to shit and wipe my ass and put that toilet paper in an envelope and mail it to Jerry Jones. Okay, so maybe we do this real quick, Jalen. Let's go over just everybody rapid fire, like a couple games they're looking forward to on their own team schedule. We've all seen it. Our own team schedule.
Yeah.
Just a couple off the bat that we're excited about. Myself with the Seahawks. I think it's wild that they are bookending the San Francisco 49ers with the Seahawks. We're playing week 1. We're playing week 17. That's crazy to me. I'm looking forward to week 1. I want to whoop their ass. I want to smear some shit on Kittle's face. Do it. The week 2, DK Matt. I want so badly for the Seahawks to beat the shit out of Steve in week 2 in Pittsburgh and let DK stand on the sideline and get so fucking mad that Sam Darnold and company is just whooping the shit out of that fucking team. Week 2, Steelers, DK Metcalf. Fuck you, man. You didn't learn that the grass wasn't greener under the sound when Russell Wilson left? Fuck you. I don't give a shit. Pretty goddamn binky. Kiss my ass. Outside of that, it's pretty regular. December 7th, I think Jalen and I should drive up to Atlanta and watch the Seahawks game. I think that'd be fun. But other than that, yeah.
You guys should be doing a lot of road trips because aren't the Patriots playing Tampa down in Tampa?
They sure are.
Yeah.
Oh,
and Miami's playing Tampa in Tampa.
Oh, we're going to that game, Jalen. Oh shit! Drake May about to beat the shit out of Baker Mayfield.
There's a couple here.
Wow. I'm not a fan of the fact that the Seahawks have to play 2 Thursday night games. They're one of 4 teams that have to play 2 Thursday night games.
Yeah.
I can't remember off the top of my head who are the
Cowboys. Cowboys have to play 2 Thursday night games.
Yeah,
They play.
there's like
they
4 or
got the
5
opening
teams that have
game
to
and
play
then
2
Thanksgiving.
Thursday night games. I don't like that. Well, one of yours is Thanksgiving. Shut up. You always
Of
get
course.
Thanksgiving.
But it's one. It's 1 to 4. What are you talking about?
I mean, come on, man. You always get Thanksgiving. You guys, well, the Lions don't deserve it. You guys might deserve it. Cowboys. Yeah, but we got to play we got to play 2 divisional games on Thursday night. I don't like that.
Right.
We got to play the Cardinals and the Rams on Thursday night. And our last 2 games are on the road against Carolina and San Francisco. So we'll see what happens there. I don't know. But other than that, I'm optimistic about my Seahawks. I am. And it's not just because I've been drinking quite a bit. That's pre-gaming for the show. Good. I keep insulting June. I feel bad about that though. I'm an asshole.
God.
While we're on the topic of the Seahawks, you want to go next, G Money?
So the two games I'm actually looking forward to, and it's the Seahawks versus the Commanders. I want to see how we do against Dan Quinn. I want to see how we handle. Actually, it's that and the Texans. I want to see how we handle mobile quarterbacks that can move out of the pocket and can throw the ball. How good is our defense really going to be?
Right.
Because right now we have no clue who the quarterback for Pittsburgh is going to be. Maybe it's Aaron Rodgers, but maybe he goes to New Orleans. Who knows? Nobody knows, and maybe he doesn't sign at all. Maybe he's just going to stay in the cave for a while and then decide to come out like halfway through the season when somebody really needs a quarterback who could go to the playoffs.
June, what do you think of your Cowboys schedule?
The two games I'm looking forward to, I think are very interesting. Number one, Week 3 versus the Bears. I think that's going to be a very interesting game. We're going to Chicago, going to face Caleb Williams, so that ought to be something. Our defense, coming off a couple of games where they're going to have to face, first game they start with Jalen Hurts and then they move on to the Giants. But going up against Caleb Williams, we're going to see where the defense is going to be tested. Against a big, strong quarterback who can put the ball down the field. So that's going to be very interesting. And then, of course, the game after that is the Thanksgiving Day game versus Kansas City. This is the first time in a while we've been tested. We've been tested on Thanksgiving. I mean, I think it's been 5 straight years. We played the Giants and the Redskins or somebody terrible. But this is the first time on Thanksgiving we're being tested. So this ought to be a good season. I think the last 4 or 5 seasons we've just like whooped everybody on Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I remember that specifically, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up.
It's been pretty.
Look it up.
Yeah, we haven't lost on Thanksgiving since 2020.
Before you go, Jalen, October 5th, my Seahawks play the Bucks at home, and my ex's favorite team is the Bucks. And her boyfriend's favorite team is the Bucks.
It's true.
And so I might have a couple bills for somebody to cut a brake line or something. Crash there before. I really want to win that game because fuck the Bucks, the whole goddamn fake ass fan base. Nah, y'all hear me? I do this every year. That goddamn team. Like, they only support them when they're winning. When they lose, they're like, oh, Tampa Bay Lightning. Oh, my God. Oh, before they like the praise. Just shut the fuck up, you bandwagon ass people down here. Just go down to Ebor and, like, pay to get your dick sucked. Like, just shut the fuck up. I hate the fucking fan base. I hate all of them, and I can't stomach the fact of the Bucks beating my Seahawks, so we have to beat the Bucks on October 5th. It has to happen, Jalen. Has to happen.
It does. That's also my birthday, by the way, which is interesting.
There you go.
Be a nice gift.
Yeah, the Buccaneers die in a plane crash, and you have a birthday. That's a good thing.
For me, I am just very happy with this schedule overall. We had a gauntlet last year, but the NFL smiled on us this year and gave us an easy mode schedule. Outside of the Bills, so of course, in our same division. I think the Bengals and the Ravens are 2 toughest games. Outside of that, these are all like pretty winnable games.
I love how you're shitting on the Dolphins when Nestor's not here. I love that.
I'm not like too concerned about that.
I love it.
Like this, there's some 50-50 games in here, of course, but for the most part, I'm like, okay. I am looking forward to, of course, like G Money said, we're coming here to Tampa, which is the first time in quite a while. Cannot wait to go to that one.
What week is that?
It's November 9th. I'm not sure exactly what week, but November 9th. Outside of that, I mean, really, all these look pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I think week 1 against the Raiders at home, I like that a lot too. So, yeah, I am not looking forward to Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson on the road, but
Yeah.
well, that will do it for the schedule release. Unfortunately, Nestor's not here to weigh in on his Dolphins, but
No one gives a shit.
you can imagine what his take would be on
Mhm.
He's a Jaguars fan now.
Let's get to the Ride or Die in 5. So originally I just only had one game on here, but I did add the Celtics game 6 since they did force that one. So there's that. But let's start with game. Sorry, let me bring this back up. Game 6 between the Thunder and the Nuggets tomorrow night. Who do you guys think is winning that one? We'll start with G Money.
Well, as I said earlier, for the Nuggets to win, they've got to have balanced scoring, and by balanced scoring, they have to have 20 plus points. They probably have to have like 28 points from the Joker, 25, 26 points from Murray, 20 points from Gordon, and either 20 points from Porter or 20 points from Westbrook. If you look at OKC, they're just balanced scoring. They're balanced all the way down. Denver's been there. Oklahoma, well, we saw what happened with Dallas last year. But you know what? I'm going to go with Oklahoma City. I'm going with Oklahoma City closing it out in Denver. They've won there before. I think they can do it again.
All right. I'm going to take the Nuggets at home. I'm going to believe that they can force a game 7. This has just been back and forth this entire series, so why not continue the trend? Malin.
I want Denver to force a game 7. Best case scenario for me is that Denver loses and OKC's plane crashes on the way back to OKC. Best case scenario. Let's do a We Are Marshall movie in 5 years.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't care, June. I don't care. I think that Denver is going to do what they did last game. They're going to let Joker score 41 points. I don't think Murray is going to show up. I'm going to go ahead and take OKC in this game. I would love to see a game 7. But I just don't think it's going to happen. I'm going to take OKC. God, I almost want to vomit right now. Just saying what I'm saying. But OKC in 6, whatever.
June.
I'm taking the Nuggets. I think they're just a veteran team, and they're going to force it.
All right. Last one here. Game 6 between the Celtics and the Knicks. I'll go first. If you think I'm picking the New York Knicks in any of these games,
Out of your goddamn
all
mind.
kinds of fucked up. Give me the Celtics.
damn
Force
right.
game 7 on what will probably be Sunday. So, Malin.
Damn right. Celtics. They're fucking win it. We need to. June, stop it.
June.
Back is your quarterback. Stop it.
June, what time
Celtics.
is game 7 on Sunday?
It will not be a game 7.
Oh, you piece of shit.
There will not be a game 7. Knicks close it out at home.
Not me, June. Don't do it because I mean
MSG will be
it's
rocking.
bad for you. MSG is bad for you. Never taking that Chinese food.
Knicks close it out in 6. I just think that the Celtics blew their wad tonight. So and they just don't have their superstar. So
Spiteful.
give me the Knicks.
Okay. We still have the finals MVP. And White just
You
put up
do.
34 points. Saying. Grateful.
G Money, can you tell us what time Game 7 is going to be?
On Sunday, if there were to be a Game 7, it would be at 5 p.m. because they want it in prime time. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Is there going to be Game 7?
Not the answer I was really looking for.
Is there going to be a Game 7? Boston has one in the Garden. They've done it, you know. It's not beyond the realm of possibility.
They've won 3 times, 2 in the regular season, 1 in the playoffs.
Yeah. So it's not beyond the realm of possibility.
Don't pull a nest.
You're not taking the Celtics.
It's tough because I know the Celtics need to shoot 40% from 3-point line. They have to do that.
And they average 43.
They do, but they have to hit 40. They can't hit 20. They can't hit 25. They can't hit 27 because those are all losing propositions.
But what do you think they're going to hit?
I think they're going to hit like 28. I think the Knicks are going to come out and play really hard on 3. And for some reason, the Celtics won't run. They just won't. They're 3-centric. That's what they want. That's what they when they're hitting, they're on fire. And when they're not, they're losing. And I think they come out. I think June is right. They played hard tonight. They played well. But I don't think they do that, unfortunately, on Friday. I think they come out. I think the Knicks finally take care of business. Stephen A. fucking dances on the fucking table. People puke.
It's like midget dancing, right?
Hey! Don't you
I know how much you like midget dancing. No, he's a midget, man. Isn't he a midget?
No, he's 6'1". He's 6'2". He's like 6'1" and 6'2". Yeah.
No, he's not.
Yes, you know he played basketball in college, right?
Yeah, he averaged like 1.8 points in college. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about
he's fairly tall.
He didn't say he was good. He said he played.
He said he played. Right? Yeah.
He's actually 6'1". Looks short as shit.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the hairline. I don't know.
I've seen him in person. He's pretty tall.
Yeah. He's a big dude.
Seen him in person? Crazy. I was a midget this whole time.
No. Yeah, he looks small compared to like Shaq, but he's not. No.
He's still a bitch.
If we could win just to keep his Nick fandom down, that's all I mean, come on. That's enough reason alone.
Like Stephen A. Smith is the epitome of just flex on him and he back out and be like, I'll sue if you hit me. Like that's Stephen A. Smith. And if you actually hit him in the face, he'd be out for like 48 hours. What a bitch. Fuck that guy. God damn. What a goddamn narcissistic piece of shit.
All right, on that note, that will do it.
If he didn't have a macro penis, he'd suck his own dick, but he can't.
All right. So we will talk to you all next week.
Just mute him.
No.
I mean,
Jesus Christ.
Yes, we'll talk to you all next week. Have a good remainder of your week. And hey,
peace.
See you all next week.
Peace out, guys.
Do that balloon show up, Jalen.